Good evening, everyone. My name is Aisha Nasir Jibrin, and I will be taking us today's session of the Capacity Building Training for 1,000 Nigerian Civil Servants on ICT, organized by Hammad Technology and Consultancy Limited. In today's sessions, we are going to look at on day 22, recap on day 20, then we are going to look at introduction to Microsoft Excel. The third, we are going to look at uses and importance of Excel. Then the fourth part, we are going to look at the Excel interface. Then we have our question and answers. Then lastly, we are going to have our conclusion. Recap on day 20. On day 20, we look at how to create a CV using the MS Word, and I hope you don't have any question on that. And today we'll look at introduction to MS Excel, which is a new pattern. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program used for organizing, calculating, analyzing, and presenting data. It works with a grid of rows and columns where the intersection forms a cell. Uses and importance of MS Excel. The first one, we have data entry. Data entry, we have columns and rows in Excel. You can input information into Excel spreadsheets, allowing you to organize and visualize data. Then the second part, we have calculation and analyze. You can calculate and analyze data using the MS Excel. Then the third one, we have business and finance. In business, MS Excel is a very powerful tool used across every industry to organize data, and it's also used for financial modeling, visualization, valuation, and data reporting. Then the fourth one, we have education. In education, MS Excel, Microsoft Excel is also used for many purposes, such as tasks ranging from administrative management to classroom instruction and research. Then the fourth one, we have decision making. In this, Microsoft Excel allows you to change the various cells, how this change will affect the outcome of formula on the worksheet. So these are some of the importance and uses of Microsoft Excel. Then the Excel interface. Like the MS Word, it has its own interface. Here in Excel, it also has a different interface. It might look similar, but it's not the same. We have the title bar. This contains the name of the workbook. Then the second one, we have the quick access toolbar. It contains the frequently used icons and is located in the upper left-hand corner. Then we have the menu bar. Menu bar consists of the file, edit, view, insert buttons. Then we have the ribbons. Ribbons is collection of Excel capabilities organized into groups. We have the home, insert, page, layout, formulas, etc. Then we have the workbook. We have the workbook, and workbook is a spreadsheet program file that you can create in Excel, and it contains one or more worksheets. So we have the workbook and the worksheet. Workbook is a spreadsheet that contains all the, while worksheet, also known as spreadsheet, consists of cells in which you can enter and calculate data. It is also referred to as the workbook. Then we have the formula. We have the name box. We have the name box. It's a feature in Microsoft Excel that allows you to create a name range or cell reference. Then we have the formula bar. This is a critical feature that allows users to enter or edit data, formula, and function directly into any cells. So these are the main icons in the Excel interface. So let's take a tour of the Microsoft Excel interface and see how it looks like.
So I will take it from here. I will take us through the interface of the Microsoft Excel. So we said the first thing that we have in Excel is the title bar, which is located at the top, very top of the Excel sheet. So you see as here we have book one, that is the title bar. It shows the name of the workbook that we are working on. So maybe if I save this as data set, so the name here will change from book one to data set. So any name that I give to my file, it will appear here. Then we have the quick access toolbar. So the quick access toolbar is here, is just above or beside the ribbons that we are having uh, here. So this will allow us to have some common commands, like we can have undo, we can have redo, we can have save, and if we like, we can customize it from here so that we can add some of the quick access bars from here. So anyone that we mark, let's say open, so you see it will appear. If we add new, it will appear, or something like that. That is the quick access toolbar. You can customize by adding your frequently used commands. Then we have the menu bar. The menu bar is what we are having here from file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, and what have you. These are the menu bar. They consist these tabs that I have just given, and each tab opens commands. So you see I'm in the home tab here. It opens some commands, and when I move to the insert, it also opens some different commands, page layout, formula, data, review. So any of the menu bar that you click, it is going to open some commands. Then we have the ribbons, and these are the ribbons. Normally they are located below the menu bar, and the ribbons are normally divided into groups. You see, like in the first group here under the home, we have the clipboard. This is a group. Then we have a font, which is also a group of ribbons. Then we have alignment, which contains also a group of some other ribbons, numbers, styles, and what have you. And for the case of like these fonts or maybe the clipboard, if I want to see the other hidden groups, hidden members of the groups or the tabs, I can click on here so that they will all appear. You understand? Or maybe if I click here, you see all the other commands in that particular group will appear. Then we have the workbook. The workbook is the entire Excel sheet that we are having, the entire Excel book. Okay, that means like this page here is what we call the workbook. That is what we are working on. And after the workbook, we have worksheet. So worksheet is a single page within a workbook. So you see in a workbook, we can have multiple worksheets. Like in this case here, you see we have sheet one, that is where we are working on. Then if I click on add, I added another sheet. You see sheet one and sheet two, they are all in the same workbook. So the workbook is the entire Excel file we are working on, and it contains one or more worksheet. So it's like a container that is having a lot of other worksheets for the data saving and analysis as well. Well, it depends on what we are doing with it. And also, these worksheets, you see, they are numbered sheet one, sheet two. When I add another one, sheet three, and what have you, depending on the number of sheets that I want to use in that particular workbook. Then we have the name box. So this name box normally is found on the left side of the formula bar. So you see, this is what we refer to as name box. So it simply gives the address of the active cell we are working on. So this is the formula bar. So, and this is the name box. You see, I'm in the first cell, which is A1. When I move to the next place, you see it changes from A1 to D5. This is changing to I11, this is changing to C12, and I'm going to explain how this name box works. So this is what we call the name box. You see the name shows as I click on it. And it's very important in identifying the particular cell we are working on. Then we have the formula bar. This is the formula bar. Whenever we are inserting a formula in Excel, as you will see once we are moving in our sessions, you are going to see how we are going will be using this formula bar. So whatever formula you are typing, it will appear here. For instance, let me say I type something like equals sum. You see it's appearing here in the formula bar. So this is the formula bar, and it's located next to the name box, and it displays the contents of the active cell, whether it is text, numbers, formulas, alphanumeric, whatever we are typing in the text, it will appear in the formula bar. So now coming back to the entire Excel book, so you can see we said it is a combination of rows and columns, and the intersection of the rows and the columns gives what we call a cell. So these are the columns A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You see there is a lot of them. You understand there is a lot of them. So let's see the last. You see, they will just be moving from A, B, C. You see, they have been changing, right? Up to the last cell. So these are what we refer to as the columns. Then we have the rows that are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to the last row that we have, which is about 1,048,576. So you see, it contains a huge number of cells. So for us to reference a particular cell, you see, when I click on this, you see it appears across the column B and row 6. So the name will be B6, where we present the name of the column first, followed by the row. So this is B6. So this is F. When I click on this cell, you see it will give me F1. When I click here, it will give me F11, and the name will appear in the name box, which is very important. Then also, if you look at whatever we are doing, when you come down here, you see we can have some views here. Here we have the normal view. Here we have the page layout view, you see, which gives a different view. It gives in pages. And here we have the page break view, which gives entirely different orientation. And also here you can be able to zoom out or zoom in the Excel workbook depending on what we are working on. So you see, Excel is very important as it has a lot more icons as compared to the Microsoft Word. And I believe as we are going on, we'll get to be using all these ribbons, the menu bars, and everything, and we are going to see how they are being used to speed up our civil service activities. So in today's class, we are just taking a brief introduction of the Excel, and the subsequent classes, we are going to be working on some data on the Excel. So I will be in the chat box, please. If you have any question, you can just raise. We are available to respond to your questions. I'll be reading your questions from the chat. Aisha is available to respond to your questions, please.
Still waiting for your questions.
Okay, let me respond to this, Aisha to Yusuf. Please, how do you scroll to the last row? So I scroll to the last row. You see, I'm on the cell A1. So I hold down Control and Shift. Then I used my arrow, my down arrow key, Control, Shift. I press down Control and Shift, then hit my down arrow key. So that is how it will take me to the last, what do you call it, to the last row. Okay, that's how I did. So Control Shift down arrow key, it will take you to the last row. And also when you hit on Control Shift right arrow key, it will take you to the last column. This is how it's done. So I hope you get it. So just Control Shift down arrow, Control Shift right arrow, and if you are going back, Control Shift upper arrow or Control Shift left arrow, so that you'll come back to where you started. So you see, I'm going back now. Control Shift up arrow, so I'm back to where I started. Abdullah Umar, kindly send a DM to the admins of the group. They can be able to assist you. So, so I think that's all for the question. Aisha, up to you.
Since there is not any question, I think we should just call it a day.